Ladies and gentlemen, the show will commence in 5 minutes. While you are waiting, please hit the like button and share the video link.
Please like and leave a comment, and share this video.
Only 3 minutes until the start. Only 2 minutes until the start.
Please like and subscribe to this channel today. And don't forget to share it and hit that thumbs up. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the awesomeness is about to start in 1 minute.
Ladies and gentlemen, the show is about to begin. Grab a drink and a snack, sit down and enjoy watching the show. Don't forget to comment, like the video, and share it to others.
Showtime. How you going? Live show 53. Thanks for everybody for tuning in. We're streaming live from Minsk, and it's 6 or 7 past 8 here at the moment.
Late.
And Duke's trying to keep awake.
Yeah, as usual.
Yes, so
Sundays are rough for me. I gotta.
Yeah, he works on the Sundays.
Yeah, works. I work on a Saturday and a Sunday, and both days, and trying to prepare for the show, getting information, and then we had a problem today. Somehow my flash drive to put videos on was corrupted, so we had to try to find some of the videos before the show here. So
technical issues.
Yeah.
Let's get into it.
Yes.
Let's go. Okay, I'll start. The big man's in Mongolia.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the honor guard. Someone said they look like from Flash Gordon.
Yeah, I was thinking. It looks like I was thinking, where is these? What does that remind me of? Some science fiction thing.
Yeah, there you go. So this is the honor guard, waiting for President Lukashenko to arrive. And we've got a video.
Спасибо.
And just got another video here.
Reminds me of these arrivals of Ursula von der Leyen, and the departure of Ursula von der Leyen.
With no one around.
Yeah, no one around, and they got to get their own taxi or something like that. Or even Biden and Blinken, they don't get anything either.
Yeah, here's the motorcade out of the airport. Genghis Khan Airport.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Wow. Wow, look at all the cars. That's a motorcade.
Good welcome for him.
Yeah, wow. Incredible.
We've got another video here of so he did a few things before business started, of course, and one of them was he went and visited the Genghis Khan Museum. So so we'll just grab that.
Genghis Khan, Kublai Khan.
There he is. Just think the Mongols controlled from China all the way to most of Russia.
Kiev. I think Kiev even.
Yeah.
Yes, Kiev fell very easily back, and I remember reading
there you
about
go.
that.
There's the map where they're going.
I guess beyond Kiev. I think into Austria, as a matter of fact.
I'm surprised the Ukrainians haven't said they're Mongolians originally.
Oh, you don't know what kind of history they changed. Who was it? Was it Rosamund? I think that I think it was Genghis Khan. He died having sex with a German named Rosamund. If I can remember properly. I didn't look that up. I remember learning that. I might be wrong. Maybe it's some other. Maybe it was Kublai Khan. I think that's his son or something. I'm not positive. But I think it was Genghis
And
Khan.
that's the guest book he wrote in. And the day before, I don't know if you saw that when he was visiting one of the areas here and where they build axes and things like that.
Mm.
Well, he took an axe with him.
Yeah.
And he was on this video here, him trying it out, and you can see how much wood he's been chopping. Look at this.
He uses only one hand. Look at that. It's sort of between a hatchet and an axe. And normally something like that, you would need an axe, a big piece of, look at the size of these logs. He throws that thing with one hand. Oh, there's a two-hander. I guess he knows.
And he's 69 years old, remember?
Yeah.
So he's chopped all this wood this morning.
Yeah, look at that. Look at how small that is. How can you chop a big log?
He was saying that it needs some adjustments.
Yeah, but it's like, it doesn't look, it looks like it's like between a hatchet and an axe. And it's like, with a small head like that, I don't see how he can chop these thick logs like that, but I guess you need an arm to do that. You have to be used to doing that all the time.
Exactly. Okay, over to you.
Okay. Yeah.
I look a bit yellow today.
I'm yellow?
No, me.
Well, you're yellow today. Maybe it's because you were talking about Genghis Khan.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe I
Something
got too
like
much
that.
yellow in the lights. That's a bit better. Okay, go.
Yeah, go.
Go. Go.
Oh,
you know what I forgot?
subtitles.
Yeah, I forgot to turn them on. Okay, sorry. Subtitles are on now. There you go.
Okay. Well, there we go. Well, we saved a ruble or two.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, as we all know, we're watching this stuff, I should start out. I got a little piece of paper because it's actually a little bit better because that's how I started getting onto this thing, saying, what the heck? This is really what's going on. There's a person, he is he's a member of the Russian Council on Foreign Defense Policy. And I've read things from him before. And I think I might've even, maybe seen him in videos because he's kind of, an important person in the Russian government. And yeah, he's kind of summing up what's really going on right now. He says, thus, the West has come to believe that the cost of Kiev's defeat, and listen to this, is far greater than the risk of direct military confrontation with Russia as a result of allowing Russian weapons to strike deep into its territory. So it's like they care more about losing, than having a direct military confrontation with Russia. So they'd rather have a direct military confrontation with Russia than to lose their what they've, it's obvious. It shows you that they've planned this and they're the ones that set this whole thing up from long ago. And a lot of people, as Jeffrey Sachs just said recently, it's this thing started in 2014. I guess you can even trace it back to even longer than that. But you see this hostility towards Russia and this desire, and you see there's even a common theme. I think we might have even talked about that before, a common theme of the West trying to get Ukraine. If you want to go back to the Crimean War, what is it, 1865? I don't know, something like that. And but then right even after World War II, when they were running people through Bandera's offshoots, and maybe even Bandera's organization at that time. We're talking even up to 1953 and around those times when they were assassinating people and doing sabotage. The West was in the Soviet Union. And I think it kind of petered out for a little while. And then obviously we saw that it had reflamed itself by the time 2014 came along. And Dmitry Suzlov, that's his name, he also said, the West itself has given the Ukrainian conflict the status of a world war, and therefore Kiev's defeat will mean its own strategic defeat, the final collapse of the Western-centered international order, is how he said it. He also said, gradually the West has lost its fear of escalation. I mean, that seems very obvious. That's what we're staring at today.
Yep.
Yeah, in other words, they are more willing to escalate now than they ever were in the past of this whole time. And you hear even just a lot of rhetoric, even, we talked about it probably last time because it's something that you can't forget. Kaja Kallas from Estonia. whoa, 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 you know, from one of the Chihuahua states. We'll bring Russia to their knees, and you know, I don't know. That's to me, it would be funny and laughable, except for the fact that you know you're talking about causing a world war. But yeah, also believe it or not, a lot of this article that I was reading from this Dmitry Suzalov, he was even suggesting, you know, not 100% seriously, but suggesting as a possibility that Russia should explode a nuclear bomb.
Yeah, I read that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Just to
At their test site, yeah, above the ground, so people get so they know what it's like again because they haven't seen one for a while.
yeah, yeah, it's like I don't know. They're just throwing it out as if it's no big deal. And I, you know, a lot of these people, there are obviously some people that don't really care, and they don't care about if there's nuclear bombs being launched. You know, a lot of them still have their brain working, but you know, you never know about like Lindsey Graham. You know, he's probably said nuke 'em. He probably said that in the recent past, but I just forgot about it. It's something you don't want to ever remember. These people when they're saying. Yeah, but as we know by now, Biden or those who control him has approved that Ukraine can have and make long-range strikes into Russia. And then I'm reading all this stuff that says they've secretly given the permission. So, but I don't know. They just come right out and give it to them now, didn't they? By now,
Yeah.
Say yes, go ahead and strike. And Blinken obviously has been.
There's only Italy, Germany, and one other country said they're not going to.
And Ukraine has even come right out and said Canada and the UK have never put any restrictions. So, and that's why they've been using storm shadows and, you know, hitting where they want. And I don't, you know, I'm wondering who is actually firing these, who's pressing the buttons, who's doing the controlling.
The Ukrainians are pressing the button, but the targeting and everything else and the operations actually the West, because they're too complicated for the Ukrainians.
So they're telling them actually then where to hit, or
they're
the
doing
U.S. knows exactly that they're killing civilians and things.
Yeah. They're targeting and doing all the targeting for them and all that, and then the Ukrainian comes up and presses a button.
Makes you wonder if anybody on our side, on this side,
they know,
is going to come right out and say that.
Yeah, well, they know. Yeah. Again, this book on the screen, which I read, you know, I mentioned it last one. I suggest if you recommend anybody should get this book. It just goes through a scenario from the first launch to all-out nuclear war and everybody dead, 72 minutes. And from every gaming they've done, gamed out, it always ends up the same.
Yeah.
Always ends up full launch for everybody.
Yeah, nobody wins. Putin has even come right out and said it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Some people in the U.S. actually think they can win.
Well, I got a video.
Nuclear war.
While you're talking, I got a video of Kennedy saying in the first 20 minutes, 90 million will be dead in the U.S., and then in the next 6 months, another 90 million, and then, you know, by the end of the year, from starvation and the water being contaminated, the rest of them will be dead. So we'll just play that if you.
Oh yeah.
While we're talking about this, here we go.
Russians have 2,500 more nuclear missiles than we do. Their defense systems are better than us. And they have electronic weaponry now that is dwarfing America. That's why these offensives with U.S. weaponry have all failed in Ukraine, because the Russians have stunned the world with the sophistication and capacity of their electronic warfare. It puts us to shame. Even without knowing this, a couple of years ago, the Pentagon did a study about what would happen if we had a nuclear exchange with the Russians. Within the first 20 minutes of the war, 90 million Americans would be dead. Within the next 6 months, another 90 million would die.
But no, not some of those guys. They'll be hiding in their bunkers. And
No, because again, with the book I read, those bunkers are only designed for one direct hit. And most of those bunkers, like NORAD, in the Colorado Mountains, they've got 20, 30 missiles targeted at them. So everybody dies in there as well.
Yeah, actually, I'm sure they won't even have the time to make it to the. I'm talking about the personal bunkers. Like
Oh, right.
everybody was showing John McCain's luxury bunker
Oh,
and
yeah,
all these
yeah,
people in their
yeah.
underground things. I guess they got a lot of them around Washington D.C. Isn't that something? Isn't that something? They provoke something like that, and they know that 99.9% of the American people don't have any kind of bunkers. They can't protect themselves from anything. And they act like they're one of us, and they're going to die too. So, whoa, we wouldn't provoke anything, irrationally. So,
Well, the CDC said, again in this book, the CDC will give out instructions at the start, and then after that, it's just forget it, because there'll be no doctors, there'll be no electricity, there'll be no nurses, everything, all gone.
They no, I won't say that. Then they say that what you can do is in that, you have to. There's a way to survive. I mean, a way to, what you do in a situation like this. You put your hands back like this, and you press. You put your knees shoulder width apart, and you press as hard as you can, and it's really hard until you get, and then you kiss your ass goodbye. That's what they say.
Oh, don't you get under a table? That saves you from
table.
Doesn't that save you from a nuclear blast?
Oh, what do they
duck
call
and
that?
cover.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say duck and dive, but I don't know.
Duck and cover, yeah.
Duck and cover. They have little kids doing that.
Yeah,
It's gonna save them
during the 50s and 60s.
Oh my God, but it's something like
makes you feel better.
Yeah, even telling kids, that you might get blown up is bad enough, and then telling them something fake like that. I don't know. And remember, they thought you could survive in a trench. And I think they even tested with American soldiers. They blew off nuclear bombs, and they had trenches, and they told everybody get down, and that it would go over the top of them, and then there's a back blast coming. And I think most all of them died of cancers, I guess. Yeah, that's, I guess, how that was, And then, I don't know. You hear about a lot of experiments they do on soldiers anyway, but that's another topic. But in case you guys are all getting confused, we have Stoltenberg to clear everything up,
Oh, he's so articulate.
Yeah, it's just like that accountant we had the other day that was telling you what's going to happen,
Oh, he was describing the monetary system.
Yeah, how it works and
how it works.
Why because now the front line is not inside Ukraine. Most of the fighting
borrowing
so far
and
deep in.
The borrowing and the printing of money. He was trying to tell us.
Basically, I think he even said in a couple of times that I don't know how it works.
Yeah, at the end, he's like,
I don't know why the whole world's not collapsed, the financial system.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so listen to this.
Because now the front line is not inside Ukraine. Most of the fighting so far happened deep inside Ukraine. But now the fighting is in the Kharkiv region on the border between Russia and Ukraine. And then it makes sense also then to adapt any restrictions that would make it impossible for the Ukrainians to hit back against artillery positions, missile positions in Russia, directly attacking Ukrainian forces or Ukrainian cities.
What he's saying is, you can't believe this. Oh, at the other part of the war, Ukraine was basically he was saying that Russia was in Ukraine, and it's like, but now they're not in Ukraine. So are you trying to tell us that Russia was pushed back into Russia? Or I thought they have kind of an offensive.
No, he said they're between Russia and Kharkov, which is in Ukraine.
Yeah. Well, what he's saying is a bunch of BS anyway.
Well, old Ukraine.
Yeah, but he's saying, the front line was by the border, and it wasn't by the border of Russia. This. He doesn't. In other words, he's mixed up.
He's almost like Baghdad Bob. Remember him?
Let me think. Baghdad Bob. I remember the name, but
during the Iraqi War, remember he was saying there's no Americans, and you could see the tanks going past him.
There's all kinds of jokers.
There's no Americans in the city. Meanwhile, you just see the tanks going past.
Gosh. Yeah. Anyway, so didn't we already talk about Kaya Kallas? They're going to bring Russia to their knees.
That's because they're going to bite the ankles.
Yeah, but before we lost on the hard drive, I had some Ukrainian guy, I don't know, some kind of expert or something. He's basically saying that the UK.
Is this the fat guy?
No, the fat guy. He's talking about the food and I think some ammunition. He says it's all lies. he actually definitely got some of his food, but you can show the fat guy.
Well, I want to play this one first. This is, Tim, the comedian.
No.
Okay, listen to what he says.
They don't care. No one cares. No one really cares. It's just fun to pretend to care. No one cares. No one, unless you're from the Ukraine or you live in the Ukraine, no one cares at all. It is not even a real thing. You know, if it comes up at a dinner, people go, terrible, terrible, horrible.
Yeah, they don't even understand what's going on. Terrible, terrible, horrible. What's terrible? I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. It's the media. The media is pumping all this kind of crap and telling you this. But, you know, in the case of Palestine, of course.
Oh, we're going to play the Jabba the Hutt?
That's different. Yeah, we can show. Listen to this guy. He's talking about, like, I think he's talking about delivery. You know, like, because you get a lot of this information, a lot of the soldiers. I mean, it's been happening for maybe a year, and they're saying they're not getting paid, they don't get food, and they don't get ammunition and things like that. I think most of them are getting uniforms and whatever, but they're just not getting what they need to fight Russia, if that's the case. But listen to his side.
Has this got subtitles?
I think it does. Yeah.
Can you read them?
I think he's talking in English. If not, I'll read it.
Oh, okay.
Oh, but I would also release crocodiles into the, I didn't hear him say that before, into the Ziza.
Yeah, it's the river, so they can't get across.
It's written very small here, but Ziza, okay. Well, they are not afraid to go into Ziza. Oh, it's talking about maybe the people
trying to get across the river to
get away.
Romania and places like that.
How many have drowned, right? But they are afraid to go to protect their motherland, their home. People.
That was it.
That was it?
Yeah.
Oh, man, that wasn't the part he was. Yeah, but anyway, and they didn't even show how fat he was. He is really, I mean, I can't understand how the guy can even walk. Like I said, we lost my thing on my flash drive, and we thought that was it. I thought that was a video, but I guess that's just a different part of the thing. But you cannot believe this guy. And he's talking, oh, yeah, they're getting food. And you see how fat this guy is. He's
definitely getting food.
Yeah, he's eaten enough, literally for like 8 people, because he is that huge. I mean, he's spilling out all over the chair and everything. You cannot believe it, you know? So too bad. Maybe if you can find that guy, whatever his name is. He's
Jabba the Hutt.
Yeah, you think they call him Jabba the Hutt, right? But I think maybe in the videos, but that's why like Jabba the Hutt spills out all over the place too. Yes, so but also was it yesterday? There's been a peace march, and Orban from Hungary has been talking about the insanity of these people in Europe, and he doesn't really want any part of this stuff. And he's been saying that. He said that in these peace rallies, and they call it in the West a so-called peace march. I mean, it's so-called. They got signs saying peace and stop the war and all that, but it's a so-called peace march. And there's like, I think it was hundreds of thousands, they said. And it might be quite a bit over 1 million people.
Yeah, we got some video after we listened to Mr. Orban.
And he says they've never had such a...
nem egyik pillanatról a másikra történt.
That one's not even in English subtitles.
Yeah. Okay, well, I guess that.
Yeah, but I agree with what he said. Yeah, so that's probably a result of my flash drive being corrupted. It's never even been to Ukraine, and it was corrupted, my flash drive. How could that possibly happen?
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe
how do you do that?
Maybe that fat guy had some kind of power over it, or something like that.
Okay, here's one of the videos. This one.
This is just a small portion of that. And it goes for kilometers. Sometimes even in various directions, kilometers on that side.
Then we get another one.
If you had that one with the bridge, I think it's a photo, but you can possibly even see that it goes all through the whole bridge and then way down the street for hundreds and hundreds. No, it's not that one. No war, the so-called peace march.
There's an Australian flag there.
What you don't see is a EU flag. They're in the EU, but you don't see EU flags anywhere. Isn't that?
It's very telling.
Yeah, doesn't that tell you something? There's no Russian flags. Any flag you see is the Hungarian flag.
That's how it should be, yeah.
You notice the colors are the same as the Belarusian colors, I think, right?
Yeah, it is.
Brothers in flags.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no more. That's
it.
Oh, bummer. There's some more impressive ones. Like I said, those guys that screwed up my flash drive. But I tell you what, just looking at it, I in my opinion, because if you look at these those marches back before when they were in the West, I think it was in London, and people were protesting about the invasion of Iraq when NATO invaded Iraq. Yes, they were attacked. They attacked. In other words, that NATO is not a defensive alliance; it's an offensive alliance. So anyway, and they said it was 1 million people, and that in Hungary had much, much more. So it's definitely over 1 million. So the true numbers.
This is the Lithuanian foreign minister.
Look, I mean, the point is that Ukraine has to have an ability to defend itself. If Russia, fearing that the targets might be hit in Russia, would be moved somewhere else, I think that the targeting should be moved as well.
But if Russia responds, they don't have a right to defend themselves. The Palestinians don't have a right to defend themselves, which is exactly what Hamas was doing, or the Hezbollah. They don't have a right. None of these people. There's only certain people, I guess, the ones that make the rules and the rules-based international order, they have a right to defend themselves.
Yeah, and again, the US is concerned about Ukraine's strikes on the Russian nuclear radar stations. It's got nothing to do with this conflict.
And they're probably helping them target them on the US. You never know what the real truth is behind this stuff.
Yeah, because what happens if you're a nuclear power and you've got all these threats, and then all of a sudden your eyes are taken out for ballistic missiles?
Yeah, well, they're not thinking. They're just not thinking in the West.
No, your first response is to start a launch.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. They sat around in a room. They got all these experts, and they know that, they even though they don't act like it and they don't, say that, they know that Putin is a moderate. And, if there's something kind of flying there, one thing, Putin's not going to launch a nuclear bomb because some one thing is flying into Russia, but he definitely, I think, would reserve the right. He's not so moderate that he's not going to launch one in retaliation. So, and I think he's probably already got the mandate for that from the rest of the Russian government.
And this is the Deputy Prime Minister of Serbia.
To niko ne može da kaže, naravno.
Do you want to read this?
It just says, nobody knows. What I can say is this. Firstly, I am really sorry
Ali ono što mogu da
see
kažem to je da prvo meni je iskreno žao što vidim da
how the Ukraine people have no say in matters concerning their own fate.
Mir je bio postignut.
A peaceful solution was reached a couple of days after the conflict began.
Nakon početka. U Istanbulu se sve dogovorili.
Everything was agreed upon in Istanbul.
Onda je došao još jedan Englez u istoriji.
Oops.
Oh, let's keep reading here. And then the Brit appeared and said no.
Johnson.
The Brit, I go, okay, yeah.
Said no, die.
No, die. Wow.
Izginite. Ja se bojim da će Zapad
I'm afraid the West will fight to the last Ukrainian.
ratovati do posljednjeg Ukrajinca. Dokle god ima ljudi koji mogu
as long as there are people to send to the front, armed and equipped, which maybe a lot of them are not,
dotle će se voditi.
the conflict will continue.
Ja moram priznati da nisam
I'm not sure I must admit I'm not sure they're going to start a ground operation.
Baš previše da će se slati pešadije. Možda šiptari neki.
They might send Albanians.
Oni odu tamo. To je moguće, ali baš
true.
da
But French divisions hardly.
će francuske divizije da idu
Not divisions.
ili da će
Or Norwegians or Germans.
norveške, pa i nemačke. Sve što može da prođe bez
Anything that can be done without losing
žrtava njihovih
voters.
birača. Namerno kažem.
And I say voters, not citizens, because electoral victory is important.
Birača, ne građana.
Will be done.
Birača. Bitne pobjede na izborima. Mislim da će biti
Military aid, financial aid,
omogućeno da će se dati. Vojna pomoć, novčana pomoć.
and silence on the fact that presidential election has not been held in Ukraine. Yeah.
Prečekivanje da u toj Ukrajini izbori nisu
Ruling without a
sprovedeni,
mandate.
znate, po
Even though according to its laws, the mandate of the
parliament,
the Verkhovna Rada can be
njihovom
extended,
zakonu Vrhovna Rada može da se produži, ali mandat
but the presidential term cannot.
predsjednika ne može se produžiti.
Well, he is ruling without a mandate, and that's even a court. And he says, "Oh, you have to look at the Ukrainian constitution," and I guess he's got a different constitution than everybody else does. And who's that one guy that looks like a drunk in the neighborhood or something? That runs the Rada. He doesn't look like he's the kind of guy that would run a Rada.
in Georgia, in the newspaper today, Ukraine is in ruins. These are the results of the Maidan. This will not happen in Georgia, according to the Prime Minister.
Mm-hmm. Oh, if the president has her way, that's what she wants.
They need to get rid of her. She's a French citizen.
Yeah. I don't even know who votes for her or elects her. Why is she there? Is she appointed? I don't know. Yes, and Viktor Orban, he gave a speech at that event, that long so-called peace march, saying things like how Europe has forgotten history, and the two other times in recent history, World War I and World War II, that Europe has attacked Russia, and they lost. In fact, he did not mention the Crimean War. I think that's 1865, like what we were talking about, or Napoleon trying to attack Russia, and that's what. And he got defeated.
Yeah, I don't know. Oops, I don't know if this one's in English. Let's see if we can grab this one in English. Hopefully, it is. Keep taking. Sorry. Interrupt you.
No, I think it's not in English.
No, it's in Hungarian as well.
Yeah, that's him speaking at that peace march. And what I just said is part of what he said.
Yeah, I'll try and find it.
Yeah. But, yeah, I tell you what, the West is trying to escalate this piece by piece. And the people, they're trying to make nobody notices up. Oh, we'll start off with blankets, and then we'll do some rifles, and then we'll do this, some javelins, and then we'll put some Abrams, and then we'll put F-16s, and then we'll give them permission to fire anywhere into Russia. Yeah. And they do everything and try to make, you heard Stoltenberg, oh, Russia's the aggressor. We're doing everything not to escalate. We're not going to escalate. And so when they escalate, they say it's Russia that's escalating when Russia responds. Yes, and Jeffrey Sachs, like I said, he said that it was in 2014 was the beginning. And I think he even mentioned that it's when they overthrew the government. They overthrew the
John Mearsheimer said it started in 2008.
Yeah.
When they started moving, when they made the decision to add Ukraine and Georgia into NATO.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I guess it's on what you consider is decisive. I think what Jeffrey Sachs is saying, the hot war actually didn't start until 2014, but the decision to go to war, Mearsheimer probably was saying it started in 2008 when they said, okay, basically they were saying, okay, well, this is going to start a war with Russia, and let's do it. Yeah. But he said, we will not go to the east for a third time. Hungary is not a densely populated country, but in World War II, they lost 1.5 million people. I think the U.S. lost around 200,000, so the U.S. lost less than everybody by far. in World War II. So that's why they want to fight them on other continents. That's why the U.S. is provoking all this stuff. Maybe that's how they're going to do population reduction.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Yeah, but like I said, and everybody knows, Russia, Belarus, and some of the Eastern countries, they lost tens of millions of people. You know, so it's a lot more.
Nearly 3 million here.
3 million in Belarus?
Yeah, nearly 3, yeah.
Yeah.
26 for the whole Soviet Union.
Some say 27. I don't know. It's all just in any case, it's at least over 20 million. I know. So this time, the United States is on the side of the Nazis. Last time they were against them. I guess they joined with Russia and they were allies, and now they're against Russia and they're joining with the Nazis. I guess they thought it would be fun. Yeah, but in truth, the U.S. political elite, monkey junkies, they are the people pulling the strings, you know. And, you know, Biden he's got people pulling his strings as well, everybody knows.
And they're going to build an exclusion zone between Poland and Belarus as well.
Who's going to do that?
The Poles here, like on this video, see.
And of course, they want to do it in Belarus territory, I bet.
No, they're going to move villages not in Poland as well. They're going to move everybody out.
In Poland?
Yeah. Yeah, right across. There are immigrants over that side.
This is actually the gentle stuff. You got to see. Supposedly there's mass graves. They've killed a lot of these people and everything.
Yeah, so the Poles are going to build an exclusion zone. They're going to move villages, move houses.
Yep. Yeah. Well, at least they're moving the people out instead of using them as cannon fodder like in other countries. And, you know, but they all want to be the useful idiots of the US of A and, you know, get more weapons and get a bigger name for themselves. War president, war chancellor, whoever. I don't know.
And you've got this cartoon on how to get away from a recruiter.
Okay, yeah. You got that one. That should be coming in right now. As a matter of fact, is where I had it.
Oh, there you go.
Here's how to get rid of a recruiter.
I'm psychic.
Yeah.
There we go.
Із дому ТЦК пішов до нього. Чоловік мій як побіг, але від ТЦК не втік. Спробували ТЦК його забрати, але чоловіка варто знати. Дав він ТЦК по яйцям, ТЦК впав. Чоловік додому побіжав, мене він вдома обійняв. А мораль вірша проста.
Kick him in the groin.
На яйця.
По яйцям ногою, якщо хочеш повернутися до...
Eggs. Oh, yeah, we say nuts in America. They say eggs in Germany and Russia.
Oh, do they?
Yeah. Kick them in the eggs, then the yites.
And what's this auction bit?
Oh, yeah, this is another, you know, things of mobilization and all that. At the moment, it slipped in me. Oh, this is for, yeah, look at the military, you know, what you have in sports in high school, you know, to protect your eggs.
Oh, they're getting them for these recruiters.
Yeah. And I guess they're paying $800 each. You know, they cost, I don't know, $6 in a store.
So they're buying them now.
Look at this. 4 of them.
Like
got him in that. Oh.
Like I was saying, 3 recruiters got stabbed. The guy came back with a knife and killed them.
Oh, kind of a fair fight. I think as many recruiters as people.
Yeah.
$100 to $150. Published information shows that the auction price.
There you go.
Oh, they didn't show the real price. It's probably $8 or something in the States.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I should look up my old one.
You could sell it and you can make some money.
Yeah. Yeah. I tell them, my eggs were in here. I can tell you that it works. Nothing ever touched my eggs. Yeah, but yeah, of course. Let's see. Yeah, all these people, they'll willingly sacrifice tens of millions of people, and hundreds of thousands of their own. It includes, of course, Zelensky. He's become a multi-billionaire, parading around as like he's humble, wearing a green T-shirt everywhere. And
I saw him in a black one the other day.
Yeah, he was wearing black for a while, but now again, I guess he switched back to green.
Oh, the green one's been washed.
Yeah, I think they probably had to wash it, and it took that long to dry on the line. So all the pores of the fabric were clogged.
No, because they got no electricity.
Yeah.
Can't put it in the dryer. It's got to stay outside.
Yeah, and yeah, and when the bombs went off, it got dirty again, so he had to wash it again, I guess. Yeah. So, but anyhow, you see what's really going on now. A lot of the world. I mean, you'll see like Kayakalis. I mean, and you, these Baltic states and all that, they were already just as Nazified as Ukraine. And now, they're Nazifying everything. It looks like this is spreading and people don't even know they're becoming Nazis. Some call it Zionism, but... I
saw a program today. They were saying that, the Azov were in Parliament with Johnson. And they were saying, oh, no, that's the old Azov. They were Nazis. The new ones are okay.
That's the new ones. He was just with them a couple of days ago.
Yeah, the
holding
new
up
ones.
swastikas.
Yeah.
The new and the improved Super Ultra Azov Nazis. But yeah, all this stuff, and even the woke stuff and all this is just destroying, what is it? Thousands of years of humanity,
Well, Sodom and Gomorrah month started yesterday.
Yeah.
Pride month,
Oh, yeah.
Sorry. Sodom and Gomorrah month.
Pride month?
Month.
They don't get a day. They don't get a week. They get a whole month.
Yeah, it's gone to a month. Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's been a month for a while.
So, and you can't show what you said you saw in videos.
Yeah, there was a parade in London when they were mostly naked completely naked walking down the streets.
Completely naked?
Yeah.
It used to be called indecent
exposure. Yeah.
But not when you're LGBT, huh?
No.
Jeez. I tell you. Wow, we did some streaking when we were in high school. You know what streaking is?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was when it was popular. They even had a song and all that.
Yeah, they call him the streak.
Yeah, but this stuff, I don't know. This, back in the days in Germany, it was like the National Socialist. It was old Adolf's party, his what do you call it? Political party, and like we were saying that like fascism is actually when you mix corporate money and government power. But
it sounds like the USA.
Yeah, it is. Well, there's so many books like Aaron Rousseau wrote From Freedom to Fascism, and
Mussolini said it first.
Yeah, Mussolini was in 1913. He created the first fascist party, and he's the one that defined what fascism actually is: the marriage of corporate money to government power. That's why I was saying that. And now they have it call it some kind of a race thing or something. I don't know. You can talk to about 75% of the people on the street. They can't define fascism anyway. They all might say something about race or whatever. But I thought that was called racism. But anyway, some called it corporatism or globalism and all that. At least on a global scale. And yeah, but wonder how this is all going to look. In some, like even in just a week or so, or even in a month, or maybe 2 years. And Orban, he's not going to live forever. So it makes you wonder if he can get his foreign minister to take over for him, or who's going to take over? Are they going to be compromised? He and his foreign minister, sounds like they both have a set.
Hopefully EU collapses by then.
Yeah. But Orban's calling them pro-war forces. I guess that's his name. All these people, like I said, they're out for the same thing. They're out for their own selfish interests. You know, some want power, some want money, some want money and power. Zelensky's the poster child of all of that stuff. And of course, he is going into tantrums when he's not getting attention and not getting money. Yeah. But like I said, in truth, nobody really wants a global nuclear war. They're just trying to see how far they can push Russia. Poke the bear. Keep poking the bear, honey. Keep poking the bear, boys and girls. Keep poking and see what happens, you know. Keep poking the bear. Makes you wonder. We saw some script. I think you saw it too. I think it was somebody interviewing Judge Napolitano.
Mm-hmm.
And he's, you know, considered an expert on Russia, and he speaks Russian. You know, he probably does know a lot of stuff. And he says Russians describe themselves as, in a way, they said, we are slow to get into the saddle, but once we're riding, we ride fast. So that's like how you can describe what's going on now in this military operation. And as you notice, Russia is like that all the time anyway, in all the wars and things. You know, you can kind of discount what was going on with the Bolsheviks, with Lenin, Vladimir Lenin. He was, I don't know, things were a little bit crazy with that guy anyway. And he gave the Donbass to the region of Ukraine at that time. So,
well, they didn't think they had enough power to keep it all together, so that's why they were letting Ukraine do stuff. That was why, when they first took over.
What do you mean? Who didn't think
the
they
communists,
had enough power?
Lenin and all that, they didn't have, you know, the power and the security to tell Ukraine what to do, so that's why they were a bit nice to them.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, yeah. Well, I can imagine that. Yeah, it was just think it's the first time when what they were thinking was going to be a first communist government. And of course, it wasn't communism, at least not as a lot of people define it anyway, even if you call yourself communist.
Well, socialism, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, you know, like there's all these different
socialist states, wasn't it?
Theories. You know, I remember because it fascinated me when I was in the university, and I was thinking, you know, reading one, and it said there's like, and I'm not even sure who theorized that or if it was the general rule, but there was like socialism 1, socialism 2, and then once you have passed both of those stages, then you can go into communism, or that's the next and the final stage. That is the ultimate of human development, is communism, supposedly. And of course, Russia wasn't at that point anyway, but they maybe called themselves communist anyhow. Yeah, but winning a nuclear war, do you think that's possible?
No one wins.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. What do they expect when they keep poking the bear? You know, how many times people use that expression?
Maybe Russia should just call in the ambassadors one by one and say, if that happens, we're going to strike your capital.
I don't really know what the solution would be. I tell you what.
It's behind the scenes. It's quiet. No one else, you know, like you just bring them in and say, listen, this is what's going to happen. Don't do it.
Yeah. But Article 5 of NATO, that means striking the territory of a NATO member, or does it? What if?
It says if it's attacked, but if they're already attacking someone else, and also Article 5 isn't they have to help these countries. It's optional, and it's also optional how they help. So NATO countries don't have to help if they don't want to, and if they do want to help, they can say like, "Oh, here's some helmets," for example.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah.
And NATO hasn't got the weapons or the manpower anyway to do anything.
Well, what happens if Russia strikes, say, a military base from the U.S. in Syria or some of the other hundreds of bases they have?
Well, that's not a NATO country, is it?
No. That's what I was thinking. Is that a violation of Article 5?
No.
I mean,
no.
Or what if they hit a sub or a, you know, or even look at the Ansar al-Alam, the Houthis. They're hitting, like they just hit apparently twice in 24 hours, they hit the Dwight D. Eisenhower aircraft carrier, you know? And I think they've hit a few other targets. I don't know, did they hit some commercial shipping in 3 different seas, the Red Sea, and I don't know what the other ones. But anyway, they hit them in 3 different locations, and one ship, I think they hit twice in 2 different locations. So they're actually making some hits. And I guess the U.S. was really pissed off. So was it yesterday? Massive strike. And they killed a certain amount of people in Yemen and injured quite a few. I don't even have the numbers right now. I've just wanted to say that
And the aircraft carriers left the area.
They left the area.
Mhm.
Elvis has left the building.
And the commander posted a video like, look, this is okay, but then someone said, hey, this is last year's video.
Mhm.
So they posted last year's video, not a new one.
Oh, okay. Or technically it could be before the second strike anyway, and then they maybe just don't show the worst parts of whatever happened.
No, it was a video from last year. It's an old one.
Yeah, but bring Russia to its knees. But I think the West is probably thinking that the whole world is stupid, and well, a lot of them are in America, at least anyway. I mean, it's not that they're stupid; it's just that they're not shown the truth. So you can't say they're stupid. You can't say they're
and the people are just surviving. They've got to go to work. They're doing their stuff. They haven't got time to look on Telegram or whatever.
Yeah, they just read the headlines a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Oh, look.
Just trying to get on with their lives.
Yeah. But let's see.
But the Trump thing, like, well, we'll talk about that when you're ready.
Yeah. Well, mostly I'm just trying to say that, a lot of people I tell you what, even in Belarus, as you notice, there's the people get, and it's not, sometimes they create it themselves, by getting some of this news, and then you try to think of, oh, Russia, bad. Belarus, bad. USA, good. So, it's like a paradigm. And like everything is better in the West, as you know, and that's what they think in Belarus. And we try to tell them, it's not like that anymore. Because I came here, and you probably came, I think, a little bit after that. I visited, I think it was, and I think it was 2000, not 2001. I think I was here before 2001. And, definitely things were better in the West then. And then I came in 2007, 2007. And then I was, looking around, and I even saw a minister of trade for South America, Belarusian minister of trade. And he was asking me, well, what do you think? A lot of the officials will ask you, what do you think of Belarus and all that sort of thing. And I was telling them, there's so much, and it's a lot like Germany and Minsk. At that time, they still had a lot of these older buses, and they got them from Germany, and they're kind of beat up. And that's how you got transported from, say, Baranovichi to Minsk, which is, 1.5 hour drive. Or you can take a train, of course,
Yeah, about 150
very, very
to
cheap.
160 kilometers.
Yeah. I can't even remember right offhand.
It's halfway to Pinsk, roughly.
Halfway to Brest, yeah.
Well, and Pinsk as well.
Yeah. Well, I think Pinsk, I think Pinsk and Baranovichi are fairly close together, actually.
No, it's another 150, 160 past.
If you go directly to Baranovichi, you mean? I'm talking about maybe from Baranovichi to Pinsk. It is a distance.
It's another 150 kilometers. It's 320 kilometers to Pinsk. I drive it all the time.
How much? 320
kilometers.
Jeez. That sounds, because Pinsk is not, because I think that's how far it is to Brest.
Yeah, Brest you keep going south.
That's right on the border there.
Yeah, Brest you keep going south, and Pinsk you turn left.
Go south and
turn
west.
And you turn east.
Yeah. There's no direct way to go to Pinsk. You have to go to Baranovichi and then south.
No, it's a highway past Baranovichi.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know about how their autobahns are made. I just looked as the crow flies.
And then you turn left, and then you drive another an hour and a half.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but anyway, Pinsk looked it's definitely a little bit closer to Baranovichi than...
No, it's closer to Gomel than it is to Baranovichi, yeah. It's along the Ukraine border.
Gomel.
East.
Pinsk is closer to Gomel than it is to Baranovichi?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Oh. Well, anyway, it doesn't matter.
Let me look while you're talking.
Yeah, see if we can get a map. Major cities but Baranovichi is not a major city. And Pinsk, I don't think is either. They're both of similar size. But... yeah, but mostly what we're talking about here is just the social media and governments and everything doing the paradigm, getting everybody into a paradigm world. And so when you hear other information that conflicts with what you have created and been indoctrinated, you will reject it. You'll laugh at it. So, and we can get to the next topic. But first, let's find that map, because I'm curious now. They don't have a full map of Belarus? No, okay, well, here, that must be Minsk.
That's Minsk to Gomel, right? You can go almost direct, right? So that's 320 kilometers.
That's southeast,
right?
Yeah, but toward direction of Ukraine.
But when you go into Pinsk, you got to go down this highway here. There's Branovici, right?
Branovici,
yeah. So you pass here, right? And then you turn left here, and there's Pinsk here.
So you got to go past Pinsk. There is no.
So there's Pinsk there.
That's terrible. You could. It's actually. So let's see how far Pinsk is if there was a direct route from Minsk, which apparently there's not.
No, it won't be that much. I mean, it'll be only a little bit closer.
Gee, so you got to go to Baranovici and then go back.
No. You pass Baranovici on the way to Brest.
Yeah.
On the highway.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Right, it's a 6-lane highway all the way, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you turn here on a 2-lane highway road to Pinsk.
Mm-hmm. That looks weird. So Pinsk is further away from Baranovici than Minsk.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I was thinking it was actually a little bit closer.
No.
Wow.
Baranovici is about 150 kilometers away. And then
so
there's
an hour and a half drive?
Yeah, and then another 150-ish plus is to Pinsk.
Uh-huh.
It takes me 3 hours to drive there.
Yeah.
Well, 2 hours and 50 minutes or something.
So it seems like you could get there without getting close to Baranovici. I mean, quite a ways away, but it's maybe not.
No, you're coming down past Baranovici.
And then south.
Yes, keep going and then turn left here and then go in.
No, wait a minute. You go...
Brest is here.
Yeah, I know. So you go, instead of just hitting Baranovici and then go directly south, you got to go further west and then double back again going east.
Yeah, look. There's Baranovici, right?
Uh-huh.
Keep going south, keep going south.
You're going southeast.
And then you turn east.
No, you're going southwest, and then you got to go back and go back east again.
Yeah.
So that's terrible.
Yeah. And here's the Ukraine border just down here.
Instead of coming directly south from Baranovici to Pinsk, you got to go wherever town you went to, and then go back again towards the east. That's terrible.
And here's the Ukraine border here, just here.
Yeah.
And Chernobyl's just up here, this area up here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And Gomel.
Not so far from Gomel.
Gomel is there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We're boring everybody with our little map here.
Yeah.
Sorry, everybody.
So, now we can go to Erdogan.
It wasn't even showing that on people, actually. We were just looking at the map ourselves, and now everybody's going, "What are you going on about?"
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Yeah.
So yes, nearly it's a 3-hour drive to where I got to go, like on Tuesday. And then 3 hours back on the same day. So it's my 6-hour drive. So I got to go down there, drop the dog off, and then come back.
Jeez. Just to drop the dog off?
Yeah, 6 hours. Yeah, 6 hours driving.
Man alive. Terrible.
2 tanks of fuel.
Huh. Wow. It's an expensive.
Well, a tank and a half.
Yeah. The things we do. Yeah. Okay. Did we ever find that video? Because like I said, my...
Which one?
Thing
Yemen?
Corrupted. No, the one with Erdogan.
Nope.
Where he's,
nope.
Nope. There was subtitles. Okay.
Nope.
We didn't find that one. But anyway, what was he saying?
We've got a boring show tonight.
Yeah. Well, he was saying that the U.S. is complicit with Israel in genocide. And that they got blood on their hands. And he was calling Netanyahu a bloodthirsty vampire. No, I sent you one. It's a different video, but it's very similar.
No, you sent me a link for Sputnik and I couldn't get it.
Oh, that's what it was. It was Sputnik, and you don't get Sputnik.
No.
Okay. Damn. But, yeah, so that threw something.
You look a bit vampirish there.
Huh?
You look a bit vampirish on the screen there.
Oh, what you did that? And it make me look kind of like washed out, huh? To get the blood from what's his name? Oh, now you look vampire.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, but anyway, like I said, sorry we had lost a lot of this stuff, and and it takes too long to go searching everywhere and try to get a lot of that
yeah,
stuff
because
back.
you essentially get here 30-40 minutes beforehand, and then it's that's the first time it's happened though.
Yeah. So I've got to reformat the thing or something. We'll
Yes,
see what happens.
you have to reformat and start again.
We have another video, couple too. We got some Donald Trump stuff.
Yes. You want to do the Yemen guy?
Oh yeah, the guy that doesn't need a microphone. I think he has one, but he doesn't need it.
And he speaks very fast.
Sari, I think his name is Sari. I can't remember his name. Yeah, that's right. He speaks kind of fast and loud. But I have a lot of respect for the Yemenis. Incredible people. They have put themselves on the map, so to speak, I guess. Statement issued by the Yemeni armed forces in the name of God, the merciful, the compassionate. God Almighty said, God does not help those who help him.
His teleprompter must go really fast.
God is strong and mighty. God Almighty spoke the truth. In victory, what did he just say? Wait a second. Let's take that back. God does not help.
Can I go back?
Those who help him? I wonder if it's a mistranslation. God Almighty said, God does not help those who help him. God is strong and mighty.
God doesn't help those who don't help God.
God said he does not help those who help him.
Yeah.
So
that God wouldn't help you if you don't help God.
God does not help those who help him.
Yeah.
Who don't help him, is that what he actually should have said. God Almighty spoke the truth in victory for the oppression of the Palestinian peoples and the response to the Zionist enemy's crimes against the refugees in the Gaza Strip.
وردا على جرائم العدو الصهيوني بحق النازحين في منطقة رفح بقطاع غزة وفي إطار
and in the framework of the expansion of military operations in the fourth phase of the escalation
في المرحلة الرابعة من التصعيد وردا على العدوان
and in response to the British-American aggression against our country.
الأمريكي البريطاني على بلدنا نفذت القوات.
The Navy, the Missile Force, and the Air Force carried out 6 military operations in the Yemeni armed forces with the help of God Almighty.
والقوة الصاروخية وسلاح الجو المسير في القوات المسلحة اليمنية بعون الله تعالى 6 عمليات عسكرية على النحو التالي. الأولى
The first was targeted by the American aircraft carrier, American aircraft carrier Eisenhower north of the Red Sea with a number of missiles and aircraft.
الطائرات الأمريكية إيزنهاور شمالي البحر الأحمر بعدد من الصواريخ والطائرات المسيرة وهو ثاني استهداف.
It was a second target for the carrier within 24 hours. In other words, they struck it twice. The second was targeted by an American destroyer in the Red Sea. Yeah, they hit a destroyer as well, and was hit directly by a number of vehicles, drones, I guess.
وأصيبت إصابة مباشرة بعدد من المسيرات.
Imagine if they had hypersonic ship missiles.
Yeah. And these people are not doing it for any benefit for themselves. These people are doing it because, and I do have to agree with them because it's the right thing to do. But most of us would never really do that. We wouldn't get involved. But these people are. That's really something. While the other 4 operations were targeted by ships belonging to the companies. 4. Belonging to companies that violated the decision to enter the occupied Palestinian ports, including the ship Mina, which was targeted by 2 operations in the Red Sea as well as in the Arabian Sea.
والتي تم استهدافها بعمليتين في البحر الأحمر وكذلك في البحر العربي.
The third operation was targeted by the ship Al-Uruik in the Indian Ocean. Wow, they're all over.
استهدفت سفينة الأوريك في المحيط الهندي. والعملية الرابعة.
The fourth operation was targeted by the ship Abyani in the Red Sea.
استهدفت سفينة أبياني في البحر الأحمر. وقد حققت العمليات.
The operations were successful and the injuries were minute indirect.
أهدافها بنجاح بفضل الله وكانت الإصابات دقيقة ومباشرة.
Do you hear what he's saying? They're not out to injure people or kill people. He says it's a success and the injuries were minute.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of, it's like these people are like, their morals are like, huh? You know, I think you remember Lindsey Graham, kill Russians. You know, they want to kill. So then it's a lot different people, a lot different character. Okay. The Yemeni armed forces continue to carry out their military operations, supporting the oppressed Palestinian people and fighting the American aggression against our country, which supports the Zionist Israeli enemy to continue its crimes and aggression against the Palestinian people. The operations will not stop until the aggression stops and the Palestinian people in the Gaza Strip are not besieged, he should say. God is sufficient for us and the best deputy, the best master and the best victor. Long live Yemen, free, strong, and independent. Victory for Yemen and for all the free people. Sana'a, the 24th of Balawi, 1445 Hijri, whatever that means. The 1st of June 2024, released by the Yemeni armed forces. Wow. Gee, what a people, huh? They can't expect anything, any kind of reward from anybody anywhere for doing what they're doing. And yeah, doing it because it's the right thing to do, I guess. And talk about the right thing to do. Trump was, or the wrong thing to do. Trump was convicted. And of course, it's all a big dog and pony show. And he was convicted of hush money, I guess. Turns out it was nothing of the sort. But I bet you he's so frustrated with all of this stuff. And of course, that's what they're doing. They're trying to tie him up, trying to make him poor. And they're trying to discredit him. But of course, it's like, what, Obi-Wan Kenobi, you strike him down and he rises back even stronger.
Yeah, 24 hours, he raised 52 million.
Yeah, I guess his poll numbers are the highest they've ever been.
They went up, yeah.
And he's raising more money, you know. So in other words, this is really backfiring on these crazy Democrats, the Biden administration, and whoever's behind it, all the other people, corporations.
Trial by a conflicted judge who was corrupt. It's a rigged trial, a disgrace. They wouldn't give us a venue change. We were at 5% or 6% in this district, in this area. This was a rigged, disgraceful trial. But the real verdict is going to be November 5th by the people. And they know what happened here, and everybody knows what happened here. You have a Soros-backed DA and the whole thing. We didn't do a thing wrong. I'm a very innocent man, and it's okay. I'm fighting for our country. I'm fighting for our Constitution. Our whole country is being rigged right now. This was done by the Biden administration in order to wound or hurt an opponent, a political opponent. And I think it's just a disgrace. And we'll keep fighting. We'll fight till the end and we'll win, because our country's gone to hell. We don't have the same country anymore. We have a divided mess. We're a nation in decline, serious decline. Millions and millions of people pouring into our country right now from prisons and from mental institutions, terrorists, and they're taking over our country. We have a country that's in big trouble. But this was a rigged decision right from day one, with a conflicted judge who should have never been allowed to try this case, never. And we will fight for our Constitution. This is long from over. Thank you very much.
Long from over.
Yeah.
In other words, he's expecting more himself, and he's going to fight back, I guess. But, you know, a lot of this stuff he's saying is very macro, you know, saying, oh, they're disgusting, and, you know, they're letting the criminals and the drug addicts in, and they're taking over the country. But that's not really so much the case. You see a lot of drug addicts in America, which is really something. But it's like, you know, obviously the big rich, you know, fascist our definition of fascism. The fascist interests have taken over the country,
Hmm.
and that's what's doing all of this stuff, is these people and politics and the money and everything. It's like it's
And
most,
Donald Trump Jr. was on with Tucker Carlson, so let's listen to this.
yeah, he says it a lot
Was a
better.
direct hit from the Biden administration, and
100%.
they point to a man called Matthew Colangelo.
Yeah.
Can you tell us who he is?
Matthew Colangelo was the number 3 guy in Joe Biden's Justice Department. So from Washington, D.C. The other big part of this case, as it relates to that, was that they're trying to say it's a federal election commission case. Well, name another case that's ever been tried that's a federal crime tried in a state court.
Yeah, they wanted a judge that will definitely be biased against Trump, in other words, is what he's saying.
Hmm.
So they put it in a state court because they knew that that guy was their man, no matter what the evidence is. And of course, if you heard about the trial, I don't know if it was Donald Trump Jr. talking about that. Whenever they had an objection, it was always struck down.
Yeah.
And whenever the other side had an objection, it was always sustained.
Yeah.
So they made it so they were like gagged. They couldn't talk. They couldn't present a case, really.
They couldn't even present the witness for the electoral area.
And if a lot of people don't understand it, you explained it to me, and it was like, and I heard some of it before, and I had forgotten about it. But what it was, it wasn't really any hush money. It was something to do. You could probably explain it a lot better, because I'm just saying it secondhand what this lawyer.
Well, apparently Cohen paid the porn star without even telling Trump. He borrowed money against his house mortgage, didn't even tell his wife, and paid it to get back into Trump's good books. He thought he'd be in the administration, and then at the same time he stole $50,000 from Trump as well. I mean, that all was in the trial and just was ignored.
They even mentioned that in the trial.
Yeah, yeah.
And they just ignored it all.
Mm-hmm.
So, wow. And this Cohen, where is he at right now?
Oh, he's around. He went to jail for he's been a convicted liar and all that sort of thing, but he's out now and he's doing the circuit.
And they have no interest in calling him for the,
No, he was. He was a witness, and
for Trump, against Trump,
against Trump. Yeah.
And so probably,
Trump didn't even know about the money. No one knew about it. The lawyer Cohen did it.
But that came out in the trial.
Yeah,
huh?
yeah.
Wow, yeah. Wow, that's incredible.
And of course, last night at the UFC, and
wow, what a rock star status.
Mm.
Can you imagine what would happen if Joe Biden? Fuck Joe Biden.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes you really wonder what is really going on.
Well, it's like this over this overpass in America. This picture here. Eventually, there he goes.
Democrats can suck my dick. Gosh dang. Except I wouldn't let them do that, because they might have some teeth or something. So, jeez, my God. I mean, it reminds me of some of these people that were not really popular at all. You get remember John McCain? He couldn't get a crowd of more than 30 or 40 people. He said, "Oh, I like these town hall meetings," But the fact of the matter is, he couldn't get any more. And Mitt Romney, he once got a stadium, and they didn't show the stadium because it wasn't full at all. They had people down in the end zone, and that was the only part that was full. And they made it try to look like it was a lot of people. And these people are just not
low
popular.
camera angles.
Yeah, and even Joe Biden was never popular. I mean, you show even the last election. They were showing something, and somebody was there with a camera, and I think they had 10 people show up, and they were probably the crew that put up the stage and all that sort of stuff, and that's about it. It was actually really pathetic, and he's trying to act like there's a lot of people out there when there wasn't. I don't know, and you can't think that people are actually voting for these jokers. I mean, certainly some people do, but not that many. So much evidence, you can keep talking, but
yeah. Okay, it's that time.
Oh, here we go. Yes.
Please go to a Rumble channel for the rest of the show. We're going to play some videos which we can't play on YouTube. So if you go there, I've just posted the link in the chat on YouTube.
You don't have the naked guys in Britain, though.
I've got something bad. Not bad, but amazing-ish.
Yeah, okay.
So if you go to Rumble channel, and while you're there, if you haven't subscribed, that would be great. And we'll play the next thing.
See you later, people.